Welcome back to WMBF Local Living. I'm Candace Howell. Car shopping can be a hassle, to say the least, but it doesn't have to be. The folks at Haggle No More are taking the stress out of buying your next vehicle. Senior consultant Demetrius Hubbard is live in the studio to explain how this business works, and Jerry's here. She's a customer of his that recently bought a car, and she's going to tell us about her experience. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Well, of course. Well, Haggle No More. If you haven't seen the billboard on 501 yet, it is there. We're going to tell you all about this great company. And Jerry, you just took advantage of this. We're going to hear your story in just a second. But Demetrius, tell us what Haggle No More is.
Haggle No More is your personal car buying service. We're here for you, the customer, to sit down and talk about your needs before you go into the dealership to help ensure you get the best possible deal.
Buying a car. Daunting task, to say the least. It can be a bit of a burden if you don't really know what you're looking for going in. It's always important to be an informed consumer, right?
Sure.
So
Correct.
you can do your homework ahead of time, but how can you help navigate the process?
Well, anxiety can build a lot of times when you're approaching a car dealership and you need someone to explain the ins and outs. We're experienced in car buying ourselves, so therefore we know what the 1-2 steps are. So by allowing you to come in to talk about your needs and wants, we're able to identify that and land you on a particular car that fits you and your family. But the key is pricing. We're able to give you the true cost of that vehicle before you go into the dealership, which allows you to make an informed decision. Is this something I can afford right now, or need I to wait, without wasting your valuable time going from place to place?
Well, and it is time consuming when you are looking for a car, especially if you do have to shop from dealership to find what you want. So Jerry, you were in the market to buy a new car, and how did this process help you?
Well, I called Demetrius up and I knew the car that I wanted, and we went down to the dealership, and it was the least anxiety I've ever had in buying a car in my life. I was so calm and cool and collected. Demetrius actually led the entire process with the salesperson, and we went back 3 times. It was a very easy experience. I really loved the experience, and I really can't thank him enough.
It's almost like a car buying bodyguard, if you will. I love that. That's great, right? So you wanted the Cadillac CTS. We were just talking about that before the show. Great car, and you bought a new car. How did Demetrius help you?
Well, we went to the dealership together. We actually went to a few dealerships, and Demetrius was able to guide me through the car buying process with the salesperson, with the right price, with all of the things that I wanted in the car, like navigation and Bluetooth, and I was able to get the best price on this car that I actually never thought I would get. And I was so happy when I left the dealership, and especially when I picked up the car. The process was so easy. It was so calming. I had no anxiety whatsoever. And of course, I bought many cars in my life, and this was the least problematic car buying process I've ever went through, and I really can't thank him enough.
How did you get a hold of Demetrius, and how did you hear about Haggle No More?
I actually got referred through a friend. A friend of mine had met Demetrius at another venue and told me about Demetrius's business of Haggle No More. And I gave Demetrius a call, and he showed up at my house, went over the process, and that day we were into car buying.
Perfect. Well, that's what I love too about what you guys do, Demetrius. You make it so easy, actually going to the home and sitting down with the customers. What do you want them to know? Obviously, the testimonial from Jerry is great, to have. But what do you want our potential customers that could be coming your way to know about Haggle No More?
Help us here. You don't have to. It's a huge process, and you're spending a lot of money. And it only makes sense to have a professional to overlook your deal for you. Even if you experience buying and haggling, you like to go yourself. But knowing price is the key. It removes a whole nother element away from the process. So I want them to know that right now, you can come in and sit and talk to us right now. If you actually need help with a loan, we have banks on our team now that we can help get you financed before going into a dealership. We can line payment up to make sure that your payment is in range. So we're spending our time together going to each dealership to make sure you receive the best service possible too. Because I want you to be particular how you spend your money. So we want to make sure you're receiving the best overall service. And I want to thank Coastal Nissan Cadillac for their superior service. Martin did an excellent job.
Well, that's great too. And you know, one of the things that we talked about, Demetrius was here with us a couple weeks ago. You know, we talked about the fact that buying a car can be really scary, and it shouldn't be. It actually should be fun to buy a car. And so that's what you guys are doing. You're putting the fun back in buying a car. And you know, how do they get in touch with you and get more information?
Join us on the web, www.hagglenomore.com. That's Haggle No More. Or give us a call. Local here in Myrtle Beach, 843-619-2990.
And you can also email us, folks, at localliving@WMBFnews.com if you'd like to get in touch with Demetrius. We can definitely forward your email on to him as well. And Gerry, again, so you got the car of your dreams. So what's it feel like driving it down the road now?
Oh, I love my new car. I love driving my new car. And I actually love the process so much. I told him I was the happiest I've ever been in buying a car. And now I have my new hot car, and I love it.
And so your payment is exactly where you wanted it then?
Absolutely. I got the price that I wanted, actually a better price than I ever thought I would get, and the car that I wanted of my dreams. So.
And did you trade in, or did you go after a new altogether?
I did trade in. I had an old Cadillac that I traded in, and also that was something Demetrius also helped me through, and he got the best price on the trade-in value.
Well, and that's one of the biggest things too. You know, before we go, I wanted to mention that. Sure. You know, when you're trading in a car versus walking in off the street without a car, it's a definite different approach that you have to take, and you really need to understand, you know, the value of your car and you know, knowing what you're going to end up with payment wise, and Demetrius, you can definitely help with that.
Absolutely. Knowing what you're getting for your trade is vital. And we align those three elements up: the price of the car you're about to purchase, the true trade-in value, and what your finance options are. We make sure those things are on our side before we even begin the process. So it's just a wonderful thing to be able to help people and to guide them through the process and make sure that they're excited, they're happy when they're driving off with their cars. Gerry's just so excited when she just drove off in her car, and that's the feeling you're supposed to have. It's the second largest purchase you'll make outside of purchasing a home is a car. With that kind of money being spent, it just makes sense to make sure someone is on your side just to overlook your deal, to walk with you hand by hand. And Haggle No More, we're here for you.
Well, thank you guys both so much for coming. And if you are looking to buy a car, make sure you give Demetrius a call. He can make that process really easy. And Gerry, enjoy that new CTS.
I will.
I'm excited to see it out there in the parking lot. Well, thank you both so much. Well, this weekend, you're getting a chance to take part in a different kind of 5K race. The Claire Chapin Epps Family YMCA is hosting the YMCA Press for Time 5K. Here's how it works. You get a time discount on the race if your team bench presses some portion of your body weight, so put the muscles to work there. The bench press portion of the event will be held on Friday, January 13th from 4 until 8, and the race is going to be taking place the next day at 8:30 in the morning. Also on Saturday, the San Diego Padres second baseman Orlando Hudson will be in the PD area to host the 3rd annual Strikeout Autism Charity Weekend. It kicks off Saturday with a bowling fundraiser at Southgate Bowling Center in Florence from 7 until 10. Tickets are $25 to play, or if you just want to watch and be a spectator, that's going to cost you $10 at the door. The festivities then continue Sunday from 3 until 5 when Hudson hosts a crossover charity basketball game, and that'll be at Darlington High School. Celebrity coaches and players will make special appearances there, and tickets to watch the game are $5 for adults and then $3 for kids. 100% of the proceeds, very important, from the weekend events will go to benefits Hudson's Catch Foundation. Lots of great events to tell you about there. And of course, we've also got more to tell you about the rest of the week, so stay tuned to Local Living. We appreciate having you as always. Have a fabulous week, everybody, and we'll see you again for another edition of Local Living tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.